the next thing we're going to do is you'll need to learn some seventh chords or minor chords, and I can show you a simple way based on what we've done so far to learn those as well. Now if we started with the simple assumption that you knew where the G chords were and the D chords were, and you also knew how to turn the shapes into a minor chord or a minor shape or a seventh shape, or I'll demonstrate what I mean by that, then you should be able to find them all. Let's give you an example. In order to turn an F form or F shape here into a seventh, you fret it like this, and it's all I'm doing is lifting up my little finger off the first string. I'm actually barring the first two strings and then playing the same strings as before. It looks like this. Okay? That's how you make a seventh chord out of the F shape. Now the way this works is, if I asked you to play an F7, is you would start with a major. If you wanted to play F7, you'd drop down and play an F, which is 2 frets below G. And then you'd simply turn the shape into a seventh shape, and you'd be playing an F7. So you don't have to learn all the different seventh chords, you just really can concentrate on learning how to change the shapes into the seventh shapes. If you played an F chord at the 10th fret, first you might find it by finding G at the 12th fret, drop down to F. Now you learn how to make this shape into a seventh, and an easy way to do it is just by reaching your little finger out to the, in this case, the 13th fret. It's 3 frets up from the bar, and that becomes an F7. So now we've learned that to make a seventh chord out of the bar, you can go like this. There are a couple of different ways you can make a bar chord into a seventh. I guess I should show you one quickly. There's only one note that you're adding, and that's what's called the flat 7. I'm not going to worry too much about the theory of that right now. But for instance, when you're playing a D in the bar form here, and you reach out your little finger to make the seventh, that's actually, the note is C. Well, if you play the C note, here's a C right there. If you played the C note here, which is an octave lower, you would make a shape like this, and that's still a C7. It's just a different way of playing it. It looks like that. That's 5th fret, 3rd string, 7th fret on the 2nd string, and your little finger on the 7th fret, 1st string. And also to make the full chord, you would grab it like that. Okay? That's another way to make a seventh out of a bar form. All right, there's one more that we're going to do, and let's play G in the D form here. Okay. Now to make this shape a seventh chord, we're going to leave a little finger right there, and then we're going to reach the index finger back to the 2nd string on the 6th fret, and the middle finger on the 7th fret, 3rd string. It's going to sound like this. So we went from D shape. Okay. It looks a little bit like the D7 you may already know. Okay. And a good way to practice is just to kind of switch back and forth with that. Playing seventh chords will be really useful to you, maybe a little bit later down the line, but it's a great way to embellish the music as you play it. And G, for instance, G and G7 are interchangeable when the chord is G in the song. To get a full shape there, you can reach your finger out there. It's a little tough for me with my short little fingers, but just keep in mind that in a chord there's really only 3 notes. For instance, the chord G has a G, a B, and a D in it. We've got 4 strings that we're fretting here in the banjo. When you fret all 4 of them, you're actually doubling one of the notes. So it's not the end of the world if you leave one of either the first string or the 4th string out, because you're still getting all 3 notes of the chord. This one, if you play it like this, would be doubled. Those are both B, just an octave apart. Okay, so we've learned how to turn the F form into a 7, how to turn the bar shape into a 7, and how to turn the D form into a 7th, okay? So you should be able to find all the chords using the same method that we've been doing, and then just switching the shapes.